What's up, everybody? This is Jeremy Burnett, and this is my first episode to my brand new podcast, or my only podcast ever. And I'm sitting here with my buddy Chris Villasenor. Say what's up.
What's going on, man? Chilling. What's the name of your podcast, man?
I was thinking Perception.
The name of it, Perception?
Yeah, Perception.
I fuck with it.
You like it? All right.
Deep.
And the first thing we want to hit it hard right out the gate.
We're going personal right off the get go, man.
The first topic we're going to talk about is the harsh reality about religion.
Take my notes out, bro.
As soon as I put this shit on YouTube, they're going to be like, I ain't going to listen to this motherfucker talking about religion.
Where do we start, man? Hold on.
Well, you tell, okay, right off the gate. Right out the gate.
All right. Bro,
What is something that you would think, like, if you don't mind me saying,
Go ahead, man.
your wife is somebody who's religious?
Yeah. I don't think religious is the right word,
Well,
but...
she has spiritual belief,
Right.
to some extent.
Yep.
Now, if I were to say what would be a harsh reality you think to her, to bring to her attention
That is...
about religion?
That it might not be real, man.
Well,
That God might not be real.
You don't think religious people? Well, I guess
They don't even want to fathom that thought.
That.
Yeah, they don't. That's not even the thought. That the fact that it might not be real, that the Bible might not be God's word, they're not having none of that.
But talking to my wife was previously, a religious person. She grew up in a religious. She was Mormon. I find that talking to her sisters, talking to several different religious people, they all have questions.
That's good.
No, I think that's good too.
My wife doesn't even have questions.
Not at all. There's no doubt in her mind.
This is what it is, and this is what it is.
You never.
This is what she's taught, and that's that, man. Like, why? The only reason I feel like, for the most part, and this goes to any religion really, Christian, Muslim, whatever. You're that most likely 9 out of 10 times because you were told that, you were taught that, right? Your parents told you. So it's like, why are you a Christian? So if your parents would have never taught you Christianity, would you still be a Christian? You could, but the likeliness of that is slimmer, as opposed to if your parents brought you up with it.
You're just trying to make the point that.
The only reason I can speak for my wife, right? As it pertains to my wife, the only reason you are what you are, the Christian Pentecostals, because that's the way you were brought up, right? So
those beliefs. But then you experience life, right? You go to school, you go amongst your friends, you talk, you realize other people's culture and how they were brought up, and then somebody they bring up something that you hadn't really ever thought of.
You would think so, man.
Out of your own home, and then you're like, I never really thought about it like that.
You would think so. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened to me.
So you believed it, no doubt about it.
Oh, hell yeah. Come on. Like, I don't even think I told you this, but, you know what Pentecostal? You know how there's separate Christian?
Yes. There's versions.
Right. So my parents were Pentecostal, right? Yeah. That's honestly I don't even know how to. But probably the biggest difference between them and any other Christian religion is like they believe in speaking in tongues. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I've heard it, but
right. So it's like,
what you're talking about.
To put it in lame terms, they pretty much speak in gibberish.
Yeah. And they think that's like a different language.
No. What they claim it is it's the Holy Spirit entering their body. Right?
Yeah, okay.
So when they're praying and they feel the Holy Spirit entering them, they start saying some gibberish, right?
Right.
But according to them, it doesn't matter that we can't understand it.
Hold on there, bro.
Is that real?
This is a supervisor.
I knew this shit was gonna happen too.
No, you good. It's a hanger too. Go ahead. You were saying
what was I saying?
You were saying a spirit. Or when the Holy Spirit is coming through
yes.
and talking.
Right. So, and obviously no one understands what they're saying because it's not a language.
Right.
And they claim that it doesn't matter. At least from what I think they think is that God understands what they're trying to say, right? Because it's the Holy Spirit in them.
Right.
So that's pretty much the basic difference between that. Well, my parents were Pentecostal, and then I remember, man, I was like 10. I was like 11, right before I moved to Arkansas, and then we had like a convention in I think it was in San Francisco, and this Australian pastor came, and he was Seventh-day Adventist. You heard about them?
No, I don't really know much about
Seventh Day Adventists pretty much they believe that, you know how in the Bible that it says that God created the earth 7 days and the seventh day He rested. So Seventh Day Adventists rest the seventh day. So and from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday is the Sabbath, right?
Okay.
And they don't like when we were growing up, we didn't watch TV, we didn't wash dishes, we didn't quote unquote anything work, anything that you did for yourself.
So this is
Seventh Day Adventists. This is what they believe. From Friday night to Saturday night is the Sabbath.
Okay.
So it starts Friday night.
Okay.
So Friday night, you don't mow the lawn or anything really. You restrain from it and you just rest because God rested, right?
Okay.
So that's what they believe. And basically in that convention, my parents were like, "Hold on, man. I think the speaking in tongues. I think we misinterpreted." And then the Ten Commandments. In the Ten Commandments it says to keep the Sabbath holy. And then pretty much they switched from Pentecostal to Seventh Day Adventist. So I went from Pentecostal to Seventh Day Adventist, and I was like, I thought this was right, and then oh wait, this is right now. And then when I grew up, right, I was like, hold on, man, like
you saw everybody else's different perceptions,
right,
of what was going on.
Exactly, and it's just like it doesn't really matter what specific religion you move throughout Christianity. It's like people are still the same in the sense that it's like the majority of people, anyways, from my experience, are not all about it, So it's like a waste of time. And I don't have a problem with religion.
No, I don't think
it could be a good thing, But
no, I agree.
In my opinion, if you're gonna be in it, man, you have to be. You can't be straggling. You can't have a foot in one line and a foot in the other. In my opinion.
I agree with that. And for the disclaimer, everybody, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about either. We're just totally.
Experiences, man.
We're just fucking talking bullshit, so don't get mad.
I'm 23. How old are you?
I'm 26.
There you go, man.
Don't get mad at us, man. We're just talking shit. But no, I do agree with you. I agree that religion can be a good thing depending on how you use it.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like if you're, it's for some reason, and I'm not saying people who aren't religious can't be judgmental. That's not what I'm saying at all.
They might be one of the most judgmental.
I'm just saying typically that for people who, and I don't know what the Bible says, verbatim or not that well at all, actually.
Give me a book right now, man.
But you would, I think it's supposed to be a non-judgmental thing. You know what I mean? I think that's what Jesus wanted.
Well, if you believe in the Bible, it says, "Thou shalt not judge others."
Right,
you know?
right. So you would think that would be something that religious people would practice. You know what I mean? At least in those specific religions that believe in the word of the Bible. And typically, I find them the most judgmental. You know what I mean? And then with that judgment, you know what it is even more? Is like when you really think about it, I don't really necessarily dislike religion. I dislike the people that practice that religion. Because it's not religion that's making these people this way. To an extent. To an extent. I mean, if you take the Bible as letter of the law, like you can't have anything caffeine, you can't have anything that's going to change your mental state, you know what I mean? Because that's considered a bad thing. Like, then yeah, you're getting ridiculous, man. Like, I mean, you could argue that food. I mean,
too much of food.
Food in general can change certain patterns in your brain. It can make you feel better. You eat certain fruit. Yeah, exactly. You eat tons of sugar. You get lazy. All right, so don't eat. So starve. And then someone would say to me, a religious person would be like, "Oh man, you're being ridiculous."
Well,
but you're not
being ridiculous, yeah.
But you're not being ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, things to think about, man. But anyway, back to the story at hand. So the harsh reality of religion. What was something that you would think would be harsh if you told your wife that maybe possibly these things that you believe, specifically, not religion as a whole, would kind of fuck her mental up?
Let me see, man. I actually have some notes. I don't know. So, one specifically? Well, from, I do a little bit of research, and the biggest reason why I don't believe in the Bible is because I feel like it contradicts. Some stuff, it just doesn't really make sense. And so what I would ask her is like, and I'll have to dig through my notes, but it was from when Jesus died on the cross, the various like events it said leading up to that point. Like I remember one, according to the Bible, it said that he said, like, forgive them, they don't know what they're doing. And then another book in the Bible said something else. So during the same time, you see what I'm saying? So he said something and say Luke whatever, he
Okay.
said, "Forgive the Father, for they know not what they do." Right.
Right.
And then in another book, he was on the cross, but he didn't say that. The Romans gave him like a sponge with vinegar to drink right before he died, and that's how he died. You never?
These are just different interpretations you're saying.
I guess, but they're not saying the same thing.
Well, I don't know this for sure either. And the people on YouTube will fucking murder me, whether I'm right or wrong. I believe Paul.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but Paul was the first one to write about Jesus.
I don't know. But I don't know.
B shift to the training.
Copy.
All right.
Which was 15 years. I could be fucked up, but 15 years after his death was the first time that we got any writing about Jesus at all.
But you know how many versions of the Bibles there are, man?
Yeah.
Can you pause that or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it real quick. Hold on, everybody.
We ain't get shit all day, and this motherfucker come in here. I bet you something.
Hold up. I don't even think I paused it.
Let it run, man. I'll be back like 2 minutes. Just play some music or some shit, man.
No, I gotta pause it somehow. This is just. All right, everyone. I apologize. We're at my job right now, so that's why we got all these noises in the background and shit. And,
Firefighters.
yeah, man. But, so, I was talking about Paul, how I think Paul was the first one to write about Jesus. I think it was 15 years after his death. I'm not 100% sure about that, but even if that's incorrect, I know that Jesus wasn't written about for years after his death.
Yep.
And that's kind of suspicious to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it took a whole bunch of people. Granted, it was another time, but like anybody that's a revolutionary of that. Now, I'm not calling Martin Luther King Jesus, but
Right.
when Martin Luther King was dead, I mean, the
yeah.
motherfucker was written about. You know
Had
what I'm saying?
movies, yeah.
Or anybody that means anybody to anyone, or had a huge impact in.
So you think he
anybody's
didn't
life.
even exist, or you think he
No,
existed?
I think the possibility of him existing is totally
No, but what do you think?
plausible. I think that he was if I had to totally guess, this is I have no fucking clue.
Right.
I think that Jesus was like a really.
So you think he did exist?
I think he existed.
Okay.
I think that he was a revolutionary of his time. I think he was an impactful thinker. He was intelligent. He was kind. He was wise, and I think people really resonated with him. He resonated with people, and he was kind of like he was their Messiah. Like, I just think that people appreciated him a lot. I just think that he was like a really good human being. I think he was a really good person.
Do you think he performed miracles like the Bible says?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think he healed
the blind.
You know, I don't think he did that.
Okay.
If he did exist, I mean, maybe he made with his presence. You know, he made people feel a lot better. Maybe there was like a warmer feeling, or they were.
That's not miracles, though. You know.
Yeah, I don't think he performed miracles. But I wasn't there.
Of course.
I mean, the motherfucker could have did anything. I don't know, but I'm just.
So do you believe he was the son of God or no?
No.
Do you think he was just a regular dude?
I just think he was a person, man. I think he could possibly, since people felt so great about him.
Mm-hmm.
Blue!
What up?
What's going on, man?
People say what's up, Blue?
We live, man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, welcome. We've been waiting for you, man.
Yeah, man.
Take a seat.
Yeah, I
man.
mean, get dressed, take a seat, man. Do what you gotta do. But I just think that, if this guy's legacy has gone on for this long, and for whatever reason people chose him to make this significant, extravagant story about, I mean, he must have impacted people.
Either that or it was a hell of a fucking fabricated lie.
Which is also plausible. I mean, you got the Mormons. What's that dude's name?
John Smith?
The dude was 14 years old, found some stones. You put a stone in a hat, you could read the shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's some made up shit.
It's like Scientology, man.
Right, exactly.
It's exactly the same thing. Like, the dude who came up with that is like a known like con artist of making some shit up, you know? And they don't get tagged, so it's like. So
but we're saying that. I'm not trying to be insensitive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, by me saying that, I think John Smith made that shit up. Like, I'm not calling John Smith a bad person. You know what I mean? I mean, he felt obligated to maybe he was doing it with good intentions. You know, he was gonna change people's lives with this
New idea.
new idea that he had. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be malicious by any means to anybody's beliefs.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, maybe we need to take a second.
You just gotta like step back, man, and be like, hold on, man.
But life is scary to people, man.
Yeah, it's scary that the thought that it might not be true.
Life is scary to me. Life is scary to you, I'd imagine. You know what I mean? Like, there's times where I think about it and I'd be like, yo, like, I have no control over what the fuck's going on. Like, zero. There's nothing stopping somebody going crazy who has possession of a gun and just walk up to me and be like, you know what, I feel like killing someone today. You're the first person I see. Boom, I'll shoot you. Like, just the no control that you have. You have to kind of trick your mind. It's almost to live in peace. You have to trick your mind to be
You
like,
gotta lie to yourself, yeah.
I got some control over this.
It's
You know
like
what I mean?
it's like driving on the freeway, man. You
Exactly.
could be the best driver in the fucking world.
Exactly.
You know, P's and Q's, speed limit, everything. All it takes is one dude looking down.
Boom. Drunk driving. Boom.
It's a wrap, yeah.
I can't control other people's actions.
Especially when you have kids, man.
Exactly. So maybe this religion is a way, or any form of religion. Religion doesn't have to be just the Bible. It could anything could be a religious experience to someone, or something that
It's spiritual.
that they feel deeply and strongly about. Maybe that's just a way to feel like you have some control over something. Like, hey man, if I'm good to people, and I'm just kind, and maybe there's a chance that I can control where I go after this life. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not a way to be mean. It's not somehow it got to this point where it got really diluted and it became nasty, where you judge people and But at first, I don't think it was supposed to be like that.
That goes back to the team thing you were saying, man. Like, oh, we're Pentecostal. Come on our team. This is why Seventh-day Adventists are wrong, or this is why evangelists are wrong, or whatever.
Right.
So it's like going back to the team. Like, people want to be on teams. Just because you're a Christian, they're not all together. You know.
They want to be a part of something.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's a very understanding thing too. I mean, think about how much
It's natural for us.
As a kid, I can remember being in school and stuff, and the teacher would ask a question, and
like raise your hand if you think
right
whatever.
And
no one raise their hand. Like, I'm not raising my hand either.
Exactly.
Don't be that weirdo.
I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to stand out right now. I just want to be a part of this crowd right here, or like. If everybody did raise their hand, I raise my hand. I'm like, hell yeah, whatever that person said.
He thought it was bullshit.
Exactly. So I mean, it has the same concept a little bit.
Yeah, only this one it hits home. You know, it hits home for people. Like Religulous. Remember when he was in the in the
when
trailer?
you say he, who you talking about?
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher, yeah,
Bill
Religulous, yeah.
Yeah, I keep saying Religulous, man. But when he was in the trailer, remember the
He's talking to
that chubby guy stood up. He's like, he was just asking questions, and for the most part, everyone took it well. I was like, all right, well, hear what you got to say.
Yeah.
And then, that man stood up. He's like, if you start, his fist all ready to fight. He's like, if you start messing with my guy, we got a problem. And he left because it hits home, man. It's like, you're not about to tell me this is fake.
You started fucking with his beliefs, and that for anyone who doesn't know what Chris is talking about, he's talking about Religulous. This was a documentary that Bill Maher made, and he was just challenging
You
religion.
gotta see it.
Yes. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's really good. I like it a lot.
It's good and it's funny. So it has a lot of good info on this,
But
Bill Maher is a clown, so.
Right, and if you're super sensitive towards your religion, it may rub you the wrong way. So
And he doesn't just talk about Christianity. He goes.
No, he talks about everything.
All the religions,
Talks about
right?
everything.
So it's like he's not just pinpointing or harassing just one, but.
Right. But I'm a fan of Bill Maher.
Yeah, me too. I like him.
I think he's reasonable.
He reminds me of like his outlook a little bit. To me, reminds me of like Bill Burr. Like,
Bill Burr, really?
Yeah. Like they're both very like extremely have like a. I mean, I feel like a lot of comedians, in order to be a comedian, have to have a strong opinion. But I don't know why those two
kind
are
of
similar to me. Yeah.
Well, they both funny in the same way. You know what I mean? Like they definitely challenge
The norm, really?
Yeah, they do. You always hear about Bill Burr talk about society and stupid things that people do. And so this Bill Maher, he's going to challenge anything that he's not quite sure of.
Yeah.
So But okay, let's get back to the narrative, man. Back to the narrative, which we keep flying off the handle with.
Yeah.
If the harsh realities of religion. What's a harsh reality, man?
That you don't know for sure.
That you don't.
Exactly.
Well, that's how Chris started it. He said that you
I
may
think
not know that it exists.
That's
in
the
the first place.
biggest one, in my opinion, by far. The thought
Okay.
of it even not
I got a
possibly
question.
being real.
I got a
is-
question
is-
for you guys. Can you still be religious and held to good terms or whatever by your church or whatever? I'm sorry for my ignorance. I don't really know that much about church and all that shit.
Oh, people
Could
just
you-
got offended.
Could you still be okay within your church and question what's going on?
Ooh, no, I don't think so, man.
Really?
I don't, unless. I mean, I guess it all depends, really.
On
But I
what?
think it depends on the people in that church. It depends on the pastor, who's the head of the congregation, who's like, all right, well, you know, he did. I feel like if for someone who would question the person, for example, the pastor could be like, oh, well, it's good that you're asking. That means you want to learn,
Right.
and now God is going to help you understand. Or they could take the other route, be like, why are you questioning God? You can't question God. Blah 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 blah. This is what God said. We gotta obey it. So I think it depends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the people in it, I think for the most part, people won't take that well.
Really?
And I can take, yeah, I think so.
I think that would be a major part of it, though. You know what
You
I
would
mean?
think, yeah, like questioning.
Yeah, people are gonna have questions, stuff like that, and just because someone has questions, I don't think that.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's not enough to be.
It's a
like,
good thing in every aspect of your life, but when it comes to religion, start to ask a question for some reason.
it becomes bad.
Yeah, it's like, why are you asking? This is God's word.
Yeah, I
It's
think you're right.
infinite, you
I
know?
think you're right though when you say it depends, because I do think it depends on who you're talking to. 'Cause my wife would have questions, and she wouldn't go to her pastor. Not that I
Why?
know of. Well, she went to her dad,
How would he take it?
and he said, you know, I guess he would answer her questions as best as he could. But if it came to that point where he felt like he couldn't answer the question, he'd be like, well, you just got to pray about it. You know what I mean?
And put the skates on.
I don't know if he put skates on, or you know, you just okay. It'd be like you guys talking to me. You'd be like, okay, what do you believe in, right? So I believe in good food and nature in itself. I feel like there's a spiritual connection with, you know, with your body and the world and all that. I mean, I don't even know how to completely explain what I believe. But if you were to sit here and pick at me and ask me several questions, there's going to be some things that I just don't have the answer to.
Right.
Similar to my wife's dad.
Right.
To where it'd be like, I mean, I guess
You
you
just
could.
don't know.
I guess you could say that me meditating would be
The equivalent of
of
praying.
praying about it. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it skates to say, oh, you got to pray about it. It's literally about what you're willing to believe and what you're willing to accept. Right? You guys
Yeah.
agree with that?
Yeah,
So
it is because, like I said, some people just accept it because they were told by their parents, you know, or they
yeah.
were told not just about religion.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I something in me just has to believe that, even if you are taught that way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're still gonna get challenged through life. You're gonna have different experiences with different people. There's certain questions that are gonna come up. So
Right.
yes, it starts that way. It certainly starts that way. But eventually, I think people do make a conscious decision to be like, okay, this is what I was taught by my parents, but I actually believe it. You don't think so?
I mean, I'm sure, but I'm sure.
We got my buddy Blue Bailey here who grew up in a Mormon home. Maybe you can
Got
give
that-
us some more
got that
insight
John,
on
hold
this.
on, I got that John Travolta shit going, man, or whatever that shit that is.
Slick back
Let
here.
me talk about his hair. Come on, man, give us some insight, brother.
What do you want to know?
Give us some insight on the church.
How do you feel about religion?
Yeah, what about you?
Just
Um,
vague blanket statement. How do you feel about it, man?
I believe that pretty much you shouldn't be condemned if you don't go to church.
Okay.
If you still are a good person and you actually act as a good person throughout your life and you try to be a good person, then it shouldn't matter.
So you
Going-
think someone
going to church
can
or
you
not.
think someone can be a good person and not be religious or believe in God?
Yeah.
Me too.
And I
There's
feel
some people
like-
that don't think that.
Yeah.
FYI.
Well, yeah, I guess
No,
you're
I
right.
know people.
that think that you're a bad pet. What about your in-laws?
What about them?
Do they think you're a bad person? if you
Do they
don't
think
believe
I'm a bad person? No, they don't. They like me, man. They bring me in. They're like, yo, you like one of our sons, but it's just, you know, they're trying to, you know, like convince me to think like them. But they don't think I'm a bad person. They just think I'm confused. You know,
Yeah.
they think I'm lost or, yeah, pretty much that. I'm lost. I'm confused, and I need to find my way
Yeah.
and find God. But they don't think I'm a bad person.
What about you, Blue? What's your family think?
My mom used to be a hardcore Mormon. She's really understanding now, more or less, that, you know, her kids have the right to choose, because
Right.
there's a few of her kids, my brothers and sisters, that stuck with the church
Mhm.
and still attend it, and then there's others that are more closer to my age that.
How many
don't
siblings
want
do you
to
have?
go.
Damn,
Like
really?
Typical.
You got
like,
Holy
I
shit.
don't want to seem like it's a typical Mormon family. But I got,
No, that's what's
I
up
got-
though, man.
I got 9 sisters and
Holy
then five
fuck.
or 6 brothers. Yeah.
Damn. So how many kids total?
Like, fucking, either we're like anywhere between 15.
How the fuck
'cause
did
there's-
y'all eat, man?
Well, at any point in time, there's 9 kids living in one house when I was growing up.
So it's like cheaper by the
Woo!
dozen in real life.
And you're from Cali, right?
I was originally born in Toccoa, Georgia.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, and then
See, I didn't know that about you, man. Holy shit.
yeah,
Y'all have a big house?
in Georgia we did, and then we moved from Georgia when I was like 2 years old, and then we moved to Plymouth, California,
Mm.
and then that's where I lived for about 5 years.
Oh, damn, son.
Yeah, and then moved to Pine Grove.
I knew you had that many siblings. Are you close with all
I
of them?
didn't know that shit.
Close with most of them, because there's I actually met one that that my mom put up for adoption. This last time I went home, you know, like a month ago, I met my new sister. Well, not really new, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I met her, you know, for the first time. And, yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Did you?
That's cool,
Are
man.
all of them like from birth, or is some of them are adopted? Your siblings, other than the one
All of
that
them
you
from birth, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them from my dad's side. Like, I have 3 sisters on my end, 2 brothers on my dad's side, and then the rest are on my mom's side. So
So he was previously married.
Or you just had kids. My dad is like
yeah,
that too.
he had kids after me and before me too. I was the only kid that came directly from my
Me
mom
too.
and my dad.
Me too. I have a step brother, or I guess half.
Yeah, it's
Half brother
They're all
and 2 half sisters.
Yeah.
I'm the only one related to everybody. I'm the only kid from both of my parents.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
the exact
It's
same.
me
way.
and my sister, and then I have a half brother.
that's crazy, man. How-
That he
I
got
couldn't
so many
imagine that
siblings.
shit. Holy shit.
Yeah, I grew up in a crazy household, dude.
I bet, man.
Damn.
That was a good point that you said. I don't know how you feed that many people, man.
I don't know how my mom did it, man.
But she did.
And pays
School
frickin-
supplies.
yeah.
Hey, the new LeBrons came out. What's up, mom? Like, damn.
That also, you know, most of the, for like school clothes and stuff, I did summer work. So it's, when I got to the age, I tried to help my mom out as best as possible. So
And you're where are you at as far as age with your siblings?
the
Like,
baby.
You're the youngest?
Really?
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Yeah, I'm the
Out of
baby.
everybody?
Mhm.
Damn.
Well, I mean, on my mom's side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like my mom, I was the last kid from my mom. So
Okay. Wow.
That's what's
And then on
up.
your dad's side, who's the youngest?
it'd be my brother. My brother.
How old is he?
Second. I think 6 now.
He's
6 years old?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My
Yeah,
dad
so he's
had,
still a baby.
yeah, my dad had him when he was like 67 or something.
What?
Oh my
60.
god. Hey,
66,
respect,
some
bro.
Yeah.
Respect.
I hope I'm still pumping it at 60.
Hey,
I don't want no
even
kids,
if-
though. I don't want no kids.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, throw back those blue poppers.
Throw back the 100 milligrams of Pfizer pills, man. Them shits is working, bro.
That's what's up, though. You know, all of you said some of them are question religion and all that. Some of them don't. Some of them are still in the church.
Mhm. Yeah, some of them still attend and still teach their their kids.
And everybody's still cool with you, though. Nobody condemns you in your family. Nobody.
I mean, I think my sister Sherry's probably the most hardcore one, but she's become more understanding because I think my senior year she lost her husband. It was pretty much like losing a brother to me because I knew his name was Greg, and I knew him from pretty much as early as I can remember. Like they got married when I was like 3 years old. They had like pictures of me like in a little sailor suit like at their wedding, you know. So you know I've known him ever since I can remember. So he was just like another brother to me. And it was a hard time when he died. He passed away from terminal brain cancer. So it was,
oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow, how long did he fight it?
Dude, wow! Like
so he was going through
2.5 years. All the treatments and everything. Like one of the last times I saw him, was in the Stanford Medical Center. Yeah. It was.
How was he going through all the treatments? Did he go through it well, or
he was really involved in the church, you know, and I feel like that helped him a lot through the process.
The faith.
The whole time he had a positive attitude and was always happy. And like,
see, that's how I think it can be a positive, you know. It can help. It definitely helps people.
It inspires hope big time.
I think I've told this to you, Blue, because I told the same thing to him. I said that it's not necessarily religion. It can be the people who practice it that make you mad at religion. You know what I mean? Because religion is just set there. You know how
you act upon it is depends on you.
Exactly. How involved you are with it, to what extremes that you take it, or condemning others. I mean, you know that's when it becomes, and that doesn't matter what you believe or who. That's just a bad thing. Period in your life. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't condemn people because they don't think like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where religion can get. That's where at some point it took some transformation, and that's where it got nasty. As human beings started to practice it, and we're like, you know what? If nobody else is practicing this, then they're not all right with me. You know what I mean? But people without religion do that. You know?
Yep.
A lot of people. It's better. Never mind.
What?
I was gonna say somebody, and then I didn't want to say that person.
Just
say it.
X person. What about X person?
Yeah. That person can be that way.
Oh.
You know
of course.
That person. I was gonna give an example, but I'm not gonna do that. You know.
All right.
But that person can be that way, and that person's not religious. You know what I'm saying? You get where I'm getting at now?
Yeah, okay, I got it.
It could be that way of where it's like a stubbornness. That's what religion is to an extent. It's being stubborn. It's like me being like, you know, like introducing an idea and you just being like, no, I don't want to hear that idea. I already got what I got.
I got my idea, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
The bad thing about it is that, like, that's like what they kind of teach, you know, because
exactly.
Not to be the other reason.
Well, no, it's like to think inversely would be like accepting, letting the devil in.
Exactly. Like, that's a good way to put it. When it comes to questioning.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It depends. If some people, like, oh well, that's the devil pushing those thoughts in you. Like, don't question it. That's the devil. But you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you said could you still be in good terms in the church if you
that's
question?
That's why you say no.
For the most part, yeah, because I feel like that's true. Because like I said, I grew up from birth to I was like damn near about 16 years old in the church. You know what I mean? So, and that's true. That's fucking bullseye, man.
But if you would think though, you would
think, man.
You would want to help that person, which is what I think that they think that they're doing by being like, you need to pray, you need to. They think that they're helping.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think that there's. Again, like we've already talked about, it doesn't take religion for people to be this way, but anybody who's looking for some type of benefit that is it will only help them, it only benefits them. You know, if someone's malicious in that extent, like I'm saying that money can be involved in religion. That's what I'm trying to say. Like if you're up there and you know some of your pastors,
those mega pastors, man.
The what? Yeah, exactly. That's
Joel Osteen, T.D. Jakes, fuck man, I don't know.
I don't know none of their names, but you're what I'm hitting on. Like when you're doing it for that purpose, do I think that those people are truly religious? Yeah, possibly they can be.
Or it could be a facade.
It's now it's becoming something else. Like,
It's
where
a
you get
business,
that, where
man.
you
You
get all this
gonna
money from?
Yeah, and why do you need that?
Why do you need that money? You're a man of God.
There's families there. Yeah.
It goes back to that's what I'm saying, dude. Cherry picking, man. It says right, like remember what I told you? I can't remember exactly where, but it's like it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
I just want to sit down and just like, can you like, what do you think about that, bro?
So, talk to like a
because of your hair, because of your big ass 30 bedroom, 55 bathroom mansion with 6 aircrafts in the back,
And
and
you
with
got
your own
people-
airfield.
Like,
You got
You know what I
people-
mean? I just really want to hear the answer to that question. Not in a. I just want to like, what do you?
Yeah, yeah. No.
How do you explain that?
No,
man?
you're right. You're right, and that's what I was saying. That's where it becomes nasty. You know what I mean? That's where it comes. You're looking out for yourself now. You're not looking out for the better of people. I mean, but people buy the tickets and they go.
You know why, man? It's because you rather hear if it's sugar coated and it's a comforting lie. People rather hear a comforting lie than or a reassuring lie than the hardcore truth, the inconvenient truth. You know.
Yeah.
If it's comforting, it's sugar coated, and it's something I want to hear, hell yeah, I'm gonna go pay for that because I want to hear it. But if this man is like, you know, sell all your things or whatever they believe, you know, be genuine. Don't listen to music of this world. Don't speak of this world. Do you think people want to hear that? No, man. So they're not gonna go by that. You know, they want to go hear God wants you to be happy. God wants you to have nice things. God wants you to flourish in this world, and that's why they go. Because that's really all they preach, man. See, in my opinion, it's like what I told you, man. It's again my opinion, man.
Yeah.
To me, the bigger the church, man, it's like the faker that pastor has to be, cause it's like if you're real, man. How many people like perfect example, man? You speak your mind, and how many people really fuck with you, man? A handful.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like if you try to please everybody,
right.
you're gonna have more friends, obviously, because you're just gonna be like, all right, well, I'm gonna say what you, I want to say
have
something
more
you want to hear.
contributors.
You're gonna hear what I'm gonna say. What you want to hear. I'm gonna say what he wants to hear, and everyone's gonna be fucking with me. But if I say what it is, whatever the topic is, most people are not gonna be inclined. You know what I mean? Exactly. So like the bigger, the more sugarcoat. The more, you know what I mean? That's what I feel.
You definitely make a good point. But with the quote unquote realness, you know what I mean? With me being me, expressing myself the way that I choose to express myself. The people who do mess with you though, it's a tighter net, and the relationships are closer. So if you really felt that God was real, you know what I mean?
It shouldn't matter.
Maybe that's what they're doing. The hardcore religious people. Maybe they're thinking that they're weeding out people like me. You know what I mean? Like, and they want to bring in people who are as close to God
as they are,
as he is to God. You know what I mean? Or she.
I feel like they would want to actually help you more, because they like the other people that are like already following it. Like they've already, you know,
accepted it.
Yeah, like he feels they've already been saved, but he wants to save you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's probably going to work harder just to help you and make you believe, you know.
Right. You would think.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that does make sense.
Look at this, man.
But that's if they truly followed the book, like,
right,
and
they're
believed in the religion.
not doing it from malicious intent.
Exactly.
They really want to
they're
help.
there to help people, like either to save them or to change their lifestyle in a way that will benefit them, like more than what they have now.
Right, and you do, but also I agree with you. But I don't think that you need to be religious to do that.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? I think that you can bring people happiness. You can be positive in a genuine way, and you can lift people's lives without
Having a religion behind it.
right. Or maybe it's religion, but it's in a different
form.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I don't consider myself traditionally religious, but what I believe in, I believe very strongly about people, helping people. You know, about eating good quality food, about treating your body as a temple. Like that's something I believe in hardcore. You know what I mean? I guess that's my religion. You know what I mean? So
this is not a name on it.
right.
You know?
If you were to put a name on it, it would be
Right.
religion. But other than that, it's just the way that I live my life. I
Right.
choose to go about my life. and not telling others that they need to be any certain way or think any certain way. You know what I mean? Like, what good is it if I'm walking around and all you guys are believing and thinking like I am? You know what I mean? I think that we've gotten to the point that we have today as humans and being so open. I mean, more open than we've ever been before. I mean, we could definitely use some more openness in our life.
Yeah.
But we've gotten to this point right now, I feel, because we all think so differently. We're bringing in different perceptions of life. And
course.
quality people are opening up to that perception and being like, huh, I never thought about it like that. Oh, maybe I could try that
That's
out.
how you grow, man.
Exactly.
That's how you grow.
Exactly. Now, if you're stuck in an ideology,
You're not growing.
you it's going to be hard. Yeah, it's going to be hard. If you're stubborn and you're stuck, and again, I know we keep saying this, it doesn't have to be religion. You could just be stubborn.
About,
You-
about
You're
whatever.
you're
Yeah.
not growing. You're not growing. So why would that be any different for religion? Isn't like doesn't get a pass on that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just
If
because.
anything, it should be spoken about more because it's quote unquote like essential to your life after this life, after you die, right?
Right.
So if anything, it's like it needs to be dissected even more,
Right.
not ignored.
And you if you want people to do that, you need to be open.
Exactly.
You need to
You
realize.
see, that makes sense though.
Well, you just need to realize the possibility that may not be true. You know what I mean? Like nothing. And I've talked about this with you guys before. Nothing is off the table with myself. I don't believe, or it hasn't met me yet. So where you'll say something to me and be like, absolutely not, absolutely not. I will not accept that information. Whereas in a bad way, religion can be. They'd be like, what if God doesn't exist? Absolutely not, son. Absolutely not. If you don't believe in God, if you don't accept Jesus in your life, you sin.
You're gonna burn in
Well,
hell.
you're cutting a huge population of the people off. You know what I mean? It's not just this or this. You know what I mean?
Black and white, yeah.
I feel. That's how I feel. Does that make sense?
It does. I mean, it's just the time we live in. Just because with the internet and everything, it's hard for religion to be that way nowadays.
Be what?
Like black and white.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
completely right.
Yeah.
In the time that it's
Back
creation,
in the day when there was nothing, like this is it. All right, this is it.
It's just not viable now.
Right.
We live in a whole different time.
Yeah, there's too much information. There's
You're
too
right.
much.
You're
But see,
100% right.
you would think that would help. Like in the world, we're in the sea of information, but we're drowning in ignorance, man. Like there's so much information. Like you said, that's true. You could Google whatever the fuck you want right now,
Yeah.
and 9 times out of 10 find the correct answer. And you would think more people would be like cool, like.
But there's no correct answer on religion.
You're right, but at least doing research, and regardless of whatever you find, all right. Despite that, I'm still gonna believe it. Or, oh, I found this. Let me investigate more and see how I feel about that, and keep
Right.
going. But that doesn't even happen. Like this is it. Fuck research or whatever scientific facts, history, whatever. This is what it's gonna be. You know. At least that. Like
I can
you're right.
understand
There is
that.
no right or wrong, but to me, at least, and that's why I did. At least
There's
like do
certainly
some
there's
investigate.
certainly
You know.
wrong
Yeah.
ways to go about things. It's true that we may not have the truth, but you can.
Who like you said? Who am I to say this is the truth? This
Right,
is, you know
exactly.
what I mean?
But there's certainly, I think when you say like, there's certainly a wrong way of going about things. You know, and even that's subjective, but still.
No, there is. Like, of course, but like, with, like I remember when I was in Virginia, man, and on the boardwalk in Virginia Beach, and I remember one time I was there with my wife at night, and Christians were protesting, it's like God hates fags, and you never seen that in real life?
No,
I see-
yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Of course I have.
who are you gonna convince like that?
Yeah,
though?
that's
You know what I mean?
true.
That's a
That's
wrong
very
way
That's
about
very true.
trying
And
to
if you're a
convey your
person
message.
of
man.
God,
Exactly.
why are you
So
talking about people like that?
So hold on. This goes back to everything I've been preaching, man. Like, if God hates fags, right? Did God create these gay people? Yes. Did He know they were going to be gay? Yes, right? Because He knows the features.
You would think.
So if
Somebody was explaining this to me.
if God, this is what I told Williams, man. It's like, and there's no way in hell I could tell this to my wife, so I'm gonna vent with y'all, man. It's, like, it's so God created us, right? What are you laughing at, man?
Because you just said you couldn't tell your wife.
I
huh?
can't, man. I'm being honest.
All right,
Eventually,
good.
I will.
Yeah, right.
10,
yeah.
15 years down the road and shit. But so it's like, so God created us, right? So, and He makes the criteria of going to heaven or hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, does anything happen that's not according to his will?
You would think no.
No, right? Since he knows.
You would think no.
Okay, so, and when he makes us, he knows what's gonna happen. So when he creates us, he already knows if we're gonna believe in him or not, right? He already knows.
Yeah, you're speaking logic.
So if he makes the criteria for going to heaven or hell, and everything happens according to his will, when he creates us, he already knows if we're gonna accept him or deny him, right?
Right.
And he has the power to make all of us accept him.
Right.
So, and if he doesn't, like, convey himself to specifically any person for them to believe, then ultimately it's his fault if they go to hell.
Right. I am totally picking up what you're saying.
So
I've asked these questions
that's
too.
what I've been thinking. Like,
I've
and it
asked
sounds terrible.
No.
Like, what? It's God is sending me to hell? No, he's not. You know what I mean? It sounds terrible.
I get what you're saying.
This is just what I've been thinking.
I can't remember who I talked to about, not necessarily, well, kind of that, but in the gay sense. Was I talking to you?
I don't.
I was talking to somebody, and I was talking to him about, like, you know.
Oh, about
my dad.
Whether or not you're born with it or not.
Well, no, not necessarily that. I was talking to somebody about how, like, I was questioning religion, or I was being open to it when I was in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go to church. I went to Domino. You know Domino.
Right, that big ass church.
Yeah.
They had stickers every car. Yeah, I know. You told me.
That was Scales. I went with him. I'm talking about. I went with Domino to his church.
What is he? Do you remember?
I can't remember. It was like this new age church. They were playing like music on stage, a band, and I enjoyed it. The dude was cool. The pastor was cool. Talking about whatever they were talking about, and whatever. I left there, and it was a cool experience. I had no problem with it, you know. And Mr. Weatherspoon, who you know,
right?
He
was there. He goes there.
No, he doesn't go there, but he would do a Sunday. What do they do? The Bible study.
Okay.
And he would do it because a lot of people, Lundgren that was there, these are all people that Chris knows. They would all do it at the fire station, and I would be like, okay, I'll join. I still didn't believe in God or nothing like that at this time. I was just trying to be open. Yeah. So all I was trying to do is hear these people out.
Right.
And I had a lot of questions. And I was definitely asking them.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, to Mr. Weatherspoon, who now quit his job to be a pastor.
Right.
So that's how much this dude. He was making a lot of money. People.
He was a fire, and there was an inspector. He was a
head
training dude.
He was head. He was making money. Yeah. And quit his job to be a pastor, which is cool. Do what you love. I'm encouraging of that. You know, if you love that, do it. But back to the story, I would ask him. So my pops is gay, so I would talk to him, and I would talk
to who? Your dad?
No.
Oh, Weatherspoon?
Mr. Weatherspoon, when we would do the Bible studies, and I'd be like, you know, it's just kind of. I'd be like, you have to be understanding that it's really hard for me to believe that my father, someone who God created, and who is a good man,
right?
Good man, you know, really good guy, smart, kind, loving, all those things, a great father. He just happens to be gay.
Right.
I have a hard time believing that he's going to go to hell. You know what I mean? And Mr. Weatherspoon didn't really have an answer for me. Or maybe he did. I don't want to speak for him, but I can't remember his answer. But it wasn't appealing enough for me. And I shouldn't use appealing. It didn't stick out to me enough to be like, okay.
You didn't think it was credible? I
didn't think it was credible. And I just kept saying the same thing. It's like, there's no way. And to tie it into what you were talking about, this is somebody that God created this person.
So he knows exactly what needs to happen in order to make him not gay and accept him. And
the person I was talking to, who I can't remember, I wish I could.
At the station?
I think it was at the station, man.
What about it though?
They were telling me, that's why I want to know who it was, because I don't know how to word it. He said that God didn't create. I'm gonna butcher this. So I apologize to whoever told me this. God didn't create the gay in the person.
Okay.
He created the person, and then they
adopted that behavior.
Gay. But that kind of, I question that too.
But that doesn't.
How do you develop gay? I
don't know.
But that still doesn't.
I don't know.
That doesn't answer anything.
Well, that kind of goes with my question, which I didn't ask this person. It was like the Adam and Eve thing. They were created to. I'm sorry, guys.
Disclaimers up the ass around here, man.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, bro. I'm just kind of.
This is all opinion.
I'm just
based.
talking.
No facts.
Adam and Eve, to my understanding, were created perfect. right? They were perfect human beings.
I don't know. I don't know.
He created him in his image
I guess-
or whatever. And then they sinned.
Right.
But how did they sin if they were
They-
perfect?
You know what I like? That's a good point, but it's like, again, God knows what's gonna happen, right? It's like
Supposedly.
Okay,
unless he created free will.
But then why would he get mad for you to use
exactly,
that free will?
and he knows what's gonna happen. So
But-
if I put my son in this room, my son's 2 years old, and I put a bowl of Skittles, and I tell him, don't eat that bowl of Skittles, and I walk away, and there's nobody here. What do you think he's gonna do?
Probably
He's gonna eat that bowl of Skittles, man. What? Well, no shit. You know, if you put they ate the tree of life, right? They ate the apple,
Yeah.
which is another story in itself. That the snake spoke. That's ridiculous, man.
all right.
But yeah, if you put that temptation there, and like you said, free will, then what do you expect, man? And you know what's gonna happen, so you could have prevented it.
Well, what were you gonna say, Blue?
Just free will, you know. It's like he wants to see whoever actually
Would try.
would try and like follow that word.
I understand that.
gain entry
I understand
that.
to heaven, and if
But-
you don't,
But he
If
knows already.
If you don't, and you're still a good person, if you decide, hey, you know what, this isn't the path for me. I mean, you know, you if you're not following the path, then you obviously are not sure if God is real. So maybe he's bitter about that. I don't know. But if you're like, hey, I still want to be nice. I still don't want to steal. I don't want to do anything crazy. But that just ain't for me. Then what? You know, then you got yourself in a quandary. Then
Yep.
God's like, hey man, you're cool, but you didn't believe in me, bro.
I
So-
feel like if Jesus died for our sins,
Mhm.
and God is the perfect understanding, you know, perfect thing ever, you know. I feel like why wouldn't he understand?
Right.
Like, if Jesus died for my sins, and I'm living a good life, like helping people, giving back to others that actually need help, and like
Mhm.
giving my time
Love.
to them. And
The
money
Bible
and
says God
charity.
is love.
Exactly.
If you don't have love, you don't believe in God. For
No,
those who
man.
believe in
So
that.
it's
It's
like,
all complex.
it's like why wouldn't I be allowed?
But see, that's another thing too. It's like, man, I don't know. I question a lot, man.
As you should.
And I wish
As you should.
I could have, that's why I'm venting with y'all. But it's like,
You wish you could have these conversations with your wife.
yeah. But I'm starting to get there. Like before, I couldn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Couldn't even mention. But now it's like, hey, I don't believe that shit.
All
All right, and then hey, this is why I don't believe that shit. And then it, but
yeah.
but
Stepping.
yeah.
Stepping stone.
But it's like what you said. So he's supposedly died for his sins. So it's like, that's the best way to die. Like him dying on the cross was the best way to do that.
Right. I can
Like
kind of.
why would you put
I
yourself?
think they're
like,
just saying there's another way that
like
this could have been
if
done.
you're all knowing, you're the most powerful entity, right? That's the best way.
I don't think Jesus was, man.
Well, God was, so God sent him to earth, right?
Yeah.
That's the best way God thought of.
Right, to do that.
Right, you know what I
To
mean?
get
It's like
that narrative across. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good
that's
point.
I don't know. It might be a little ridiculous. That's what I think of myself.
And the
like,
Romans surely didn't believe that shit
of course not.
because they killed that
Exactly,
motherfucker.
and that's what I'm saying, man. If he
So
would
all
have
the
said,
Romans were sinning.
if he would have said something, if he would have sugarcoated and said what the Romans wanted to hear, they would have never killed him.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know
But
enough
he-
about that. So
That's just again my opinion. He was talking, whatever he preached, and the Romans were having that. I was like, I don't want to hear that.
anybody that stood up around that time that said that they were a Messiah.
Oh yeah, it was like he blasphemy like
yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
Romans did not fuck with that. So, but I don't
Well,
know.
yeah,
I
man.
can't recall Jesus ever calling himself the Messiah though. Which
I'm
makes me
pretty
think that he
sure.
was smarter than everybody else because he saw what was going on.
I'm
He's
pretty
like,
sure. that's in
motherfuckers
there.
getting chopped up around here. I'm just gonna chill.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff that I think that it's like.
I mean, it's not a terrible thing, man.
It's not.
I think
But
that
all I'm trying to do is understand and use logic, man. That's all.
we're in a
But
better.
I don't. It could be used good. I don't have a problem with it. I just want to understand it,
Of
But
course.
I'm not. Oh, your religion, you're a dumbass. That's not
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
about. I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh well, maybe you can help me understand. Maybe I'm missing a part of the puzzle.
True.
But,
I think that we're in a better place than we've been in a long time in society. I know all this about Trump is coming up and the whole Hillary thing, and which is kind of maybe forcing a divide. You know what I mean? With mainstream media, with social media. But honestly, I don't think times are that bad, man. And I think openness is on the rise more than I think it's on the decline. Right? Would you guys agree with that?
I would say so.
Well, yeah, because I mean, just within like the last decade, we had a mass movement and acceptance of gays and
Yep. Transgenders.
yeah, and all that, and like, so I feel like
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
moving towards, you know,
Regardless of how you feel.
baby steps, but I mean, it's
this is another point though. It's almost coming to a point where we're not too open. I don't want to say that. Too sensitive towards people too.
Yeah, I would agree with
It might be going in. You know, we can't be in the middle. We're either an extreme closed-minded,
extreme
or,
fuck 'em or extreme, like,
yeah,
no, they're
take
right.
'em in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true, man. Because all this shit that's going on, that we have to be as sensitive to every human being. It just doesn't work. Neither does being too close to any human being. You know what I mean? We're in a weird time.
But it's, how do you find that middle ground?
I don't know.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't know, man. You just be nice to people. That's
You
how
be
you do
nice and you respect.
Yeah, respect others and what they believe and what
Exactly.
they want to be.
All right, man.
If you want to be a woman,
Yeah, I don't, exactly. If you want to be a woman,
you know.
I don't agree with that shit.
If you a girl,
That's you, man. You know.
be a woman.
Exactly.
Whatever makes you happy.
Exactly. And just don't, just I'll be over here living my life. You be over there. It's not even like we can't be friends. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
You can be cool. You might be a cool dude chick. I don't know, but
A cool he she.
yeah, man, that's cool. Or if you're a dude, you want to fuck other dudes, cool, man. You know what I mean?
Or well, just what do you do when you go to a club and it's 11 and all ladies get in free? Like, are you a dude or you a chick right there?
Hey
you know?
man, you do
Turn-
what fits. You do what fits the description, man. You get in free. That's what you do, man. I'm just kidding. Well, not really. If you want to get in free, get in free. Fuck it. That's what I say. Yeah, man. We're in a crazy time, but I don't think it's all bad.
Nah.
I don't think it's all bad.
Definitely not. There's some good. Just being able to travel all around the world, like within 24 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
What are you talking
The
about?
access that we have.
Like to
oh.
see, to see the world. You're given the opportunity
Right.
to be able to see the entire world. Where before is you're stuck in your hometown for most of your life, if
Yeah.
not your whole life.
That's very true. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. I appreciate you guys coming on. My buddy Chris, my buddy Blue.
Aside,
I'm Jeremy, and that's it, guys. I hope
Right,
this.
man.
I hope you guys like this first podcast. I know it was kind of.
Perception, first episode.
I know it's kind of confrontational, possibly.
We had a few hiccups, man.
YouTubers, take it easy on me.
Take it easy on everybody.
solder.
All right,
It is,
y'all.
man.
Peace out.